In the heart of ancient Rome, a city pulsating with corruption, intrigue, and power, there was born a man who dared to challenge the gods themselves. A man who walked a razor's edge between glory and destruction, between love and betrayal. His name was Gaius Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar. He was not just a brilliant general, politician, or orator. He was the architect of the fall of the Roman Republic and the sewer of the empire. His story is an epic of ambition, courage, and tragedy that still echoes through the ages. But who was this man really? How did a young Noah was the architect of the fall of the Blemon, almost forgotten in the chaos of Roman politics, become the absolute master of the known world? And what was the price of his journey? Prepare yourself to uncover the hidden truth behind the man who defied the gods and destroyed the Republic. Chapter 1. The Roots of Destiny. Julius Caesar was born in 100 BC into a patrician family of prestige, but one that no longer held the absolute power it once had. Rome was in turmoil. Civil wars, senatorial rivalries. The growing power of the legions and social chaos shook the foundations of the ancient republic. From an early age, Caesar showed an indomitable spirit. Intelligent, charismatic, and impetuous, he faced a difficult youth with bravery. When the dictator Sulla seized absolute power, Caesar's life was marked forever. Sulla saw young nobles as threats and imposed violent persecutions. Caesar, then only 20 years old, barely escaped a death sentence. This early ordeal sealed his fate. He learned that in Roman politics, only the ruthless survived. Chapter 2. The Pirate and the Revenge. Legend tells that during a journey across the Mediterranean, Caesar was captured by pirates in the Aegean Sea. Instead of fearing his captors, the young Roman met them with audacity. He demanded they raise his ransom, saying he was worth far more than they asked. During the 38 days he was held captive, Caesar kept a commanding tone, treating the pirates almost as subordinates, and promised vengeance. Once freed, like a true Roman warrior, Caesar gathered a fleet, pursued the pirates, captured them, fulfilling his promise. Whether true or legendary, this story shows the determination and courage that would define his life. Chapter 3. The Path to Power. Back in Rome, Caesar began his political career with firm steps. As a lawyer, orator, and politician, he rose in the favor of the people and the army. His first marriage to Cornelia, daughter of a Popularist ally, brought him closer to reformist currents. But Roman politics was a brutal game of alliances and betrayals. Caesar formed the famous First Triumvirate with Pompey and Crassus, a temporary alliance to control Rome against the traditional Senate. This alliance was a springboard for his conquests, but also the root of future rivalries. While Crassus died campaigning and Pompey drifted away, Caesar advanced. Chapter 4. The Gallic Wars. The Legacy of the Sword. Between 58 BC and 50 BC, Caesar led the most impressive military campaign of his life, the conquest of Gaul. With an experienced legion, relentless strategy, and adaptability, he defeated Gallic tribes and expanded Roman power like no one before him. It was during this time that Caesar showed his mastery as a general, writing the famous commentaries on the Gallic War. I'm not just a military report, but a masterpiece of political propaganda. His success made him popular and feared, but also sparked envy in the Senate and suspicion from Pompey, who now saw Caesar as a dangerous rival. Chapter 5. Crossing the Rubicon. The point of no return in 49 BC. The Senate, pressured by Pompey, ordered Caesar to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. The demand was a trap. It meant losing power and likely his life. Caesar took the decision that would change history. He crossed the Rubicon River with his legions, a direct violation of Roman law and an act of war against the Republic. Alia iacta est. The die is cast, he said, as he took the decisive step. A civil war began, one that would destroy the old system and make Caesar the absolute ruler. Chapter 6. Ruling Rome and the Cult of the Man. After defeating Pompey, who fled to Egypt and was assassinated, Caesar returned to Rome as dictator. He implemented radical reforms, reorganizing the calendar, distributing land to veterans, expanding citizens' rights. in concentrating power in his hands, but his absolute rule disturbed many. The Senate, which already feared him, now saw him as a tyrant. Meanwhile, Caesar cultivated the image of near divinity, demanding titles like dictator perpetuo, dictator for life, and promoting a personal cult that challenged Republican tradition. Chapter 7. Love and Power with Cleopatra. During his stay in Egypt, Caesar met Cleopatra, the fascinating and ambitious queen. Their encounter was more than a romance. It was a strategic alliance. Cleopatra wanted to consolidate her power in Egypt and the East, while Caesar sought support for his hegemony in Rome. Together, they had a son, Caesarion, a symbol of the union between Rome and Egypt. But their relationship stirred rumors and hatred among traditional Romans, who saw the foreign queen as a threat. Chapter 8. Betrayal in the Senate. The assassination of Caesar. Despite all his power and glory, Caesar lived under constant threat. Among senators, conspirators plotted the end of the tyrant. On the Ides of March 44 BC, Caesar was surrounded in the Senate by 60 men, including his friend Brutus. Masked as defenders of the Republic, they struck 23 stab wounds that ended his life. The scene shocked the world and marked the end of the Republic and the beginning of chaos. Chapter 9. The Immortal Legacy of Caesar. Caesar's death did not bring the Republic back. On the contrary, it began a new era. The Roman Empire rose from the ashes of the old order, with his adopted heir, Octavian, taking power. The name Caesar became a title. Caesar became synonymous with emperor in languages around the world. His legacy is a mix of glory, ambition, and tragedy. The man who defied gods, destroyed the Republic, and changed the fate of the world forever. Now that you know the true story of Julius Caesar, the man who dared to face gods and men to transform Rome, tell us, what impressed you the most in this saga? Leave your comment, share with your friends, and subscribe to Vertex of Time to dive into more epic stories like this, because time never stops, and the past always has secrets to reveal.